Hey everybody, my name is Sharon Quinn and I'm also known as the original runway diva, and you are watching Model Behavior. Class is officially in session. My guest lecturer today is designer Robert E. Knight. He has been designing for over 40 years, and in June of 2017, he was awarded Designer of the Year for Full Figure Fashion Week. Welcome to Model Behavior, or rather, welcome back to Model Behavior, Robert E. Knight.
Yes.
So, Rob, what's going on?
Everything and nothing, Sharon Quinn. Everything and nothing.
You've been busy this year, though.
Extremely busy. I'm busy and blessed.
Why do you say that?
Just because last year, 2016 was a trying year for me. My mom passed away. Yeah. I lost work. It was just been a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm blessed because I'm still able to sew. I'm still able to do what I do. So I'm just happy about that. So I'm busy and blessed. And
your mom was a big inspiration to you?
Oh my goodness, my mom was my biggest muse. Because of her, I started sewing. When I was a kid, she would sew my brother, my sister, and myself, our clothes, mm-hmm. growing up. So I used to watch her sew. And awkward as a kid, couldn't play the sports, whatever, so I would mess with the sewing machine, and hence how I started sewing. But as I got older, she would allow me to make garments for her. So I would make dresses for her, last major one I did was for my brother-in-law, mm-hmm. My brother-in-law's wedding. And yeah, just inspiration, just a muse. She's just my muse, and I think about her every day. And just the fashion part, she was just so fashion to me. She was just so elegant to me. Mm-hmm. So whenever I'm doing now or creating anything now, I always think of her and I always put her.
So she inspires you?
She's my ultimate inspiration. So
what you say you always put elements of her in it. Mm-hmm. So what elements of her were in your collection for Full Figure Fashion Week, which was fabulous?
Oh, thank you, thank you. Just to even know, that was to date my best collection, from the start of putting the collection together to me walking on the runway. It was just electric for me. Mm-hmm. I put her elegance and her grace and her style into the looks. She was a petite woman, nowhere near full figured, but still, I still use her elegance and mm-hmm. would say, if she was a full figured woman, would she wear this? Mm-hmm. She loved the sequence. She loved the something sparkle.
Well, that's me. That's my street, baby.
Yes. She loved the sparkle. So those were the minimum elements that I put in for the collection for Full Figure Fashion Week.
Now not only do you do plus size and straight size, you do menswear too?
Yes. Now the story is, and it took me a minute to understand why things happen. Again, my mother was the person who told me to go to FIT. Mm-hmm. Like she said, if you're going to do it right, get the degree. So I went to FIT and I applied for FIT because I was sewing, of mm-hmm. course. And the women's department was just so many people, but the menswear department, it was a small group of people, and I felt like I would get the attention that I needed. And I sewed for myself, so hence I got the technical aspect for the menswear. Mm-hmm. But come to find out later on, it's like I don't like doing menswear.
Really?
I'm not, because menswear has always been boring to me. It's always been blue, gray, black and white. And to have fun with menswear, for me, it's too many layers, too many elements. So a woman's dress, I could do a dress and be done with it. But for menswear, it's a lot. And because I like to get it done, it's too much for me. Mm-hmm. But I got the technical aspect of it. So if I decide to do anything menswear inspired, I have the background for the menswear. But
and you make your own clothes.
Yeah. It just so happens that I like to make clothes, mm-hmm. but to do, let me not say I don't like it. Let me say it had always been challenging to me. Okay. So I kind of stay away from those things that are challenging sometimes, mm-hmm. but I do still do, when I'm doing a full collection, I'll add menswear in there. And people also think that I'm a full-figured designer.
No, I know that.
I'm a straight-size designer who just happens to love full-figured, which, see, I love full-figured more than I love menswear, because you will always see women's full-figured in my collections opposed to menswear.
Now, it's interesting because the menswear territory is changing.
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Now they're, because they had the same sort of stigmas that the plus size
Yes.
girls had, and now they're sort of
Yes.
embracing the
So,
plus size
yes,
man.
I'm
And they throwing sequins and
yes,
color and all of
yeah.
that in there.
But there's, with men in general, for me, there's a certain aesthetic that I like to see a man. It has to be clean. It can't be too much. And then if you're my size or bigger than me, for me, I still think it just needs to be clean. At a certain age, of course. When
Yes.
you're young, you can do whatever, but when you get a certain age, it's like, come on, clean it up, pull your pants up, you know, do certain things that a grown man's supposed to do. What I do like the big guy movement. I love that movement. So that movement would get me more to do menswear than a straight size guy, just because I like that flow and because I love the whole energy of the connection, like the connection I have with full figure women. I'm often asked, like, why you're so skinny? You're such a little guy. What do you know about a big girl? But the thing is, I get it. And my response is, because I'm a skinny guy, I'm a little guy, and had insecurities about being small, I relate on that level with a full figure woman. Because she has insecurity about her size. And so it's my job to make sure that I make her feel, if she's a size 22, I want to make her feel at least like a 16. You know, at least like a 16.
Or a fabulous ass 22.
Exactly, or fabulous ass 22.
Yes.
Right, but at the end of the day, I get it. I can relate to that.
That's a stupid question for someone, because what
It
does
is,
that have to
but-
do with your talent,
Right,
your technical talent?
But the world is mostly ignorant.
Yeah.
So you have to deal with ignorance accordingly. So instead of me responding, you know, like on a punch in your face, I give you the truth. And the truth is that I can relate to the insecurity part. I mean, unfortunately, that's what it is, but that's how I get it. And I know with a full figure woman, there's certain things she likes. She likes her chest. She likes, I said, her décolletage area, décolletage area, right? And armpierre, you know, something. It's the different elements to a full figure woman line or garment or look than a straight size woman. So yeah, it's just a lot, but I get it all. But I'm a straight size designer.
Okay.
I'm a straight size designer.
Now, you notice I'm having a senior moment. What sort of plus size woman inspires you to create?
I like a plus size woman who's confident. Just like what I do is, like if I'm in the street on a train walking, I like to see a woman. She doesn't have to be impeccably dressed, but I just need to see her head up, like she's walking, like she's confident. She's letting the world know I love me. It doesn't matter what you think about me.
Oh, say
I
that
love
again.
Me, right? So it doesn't matter what you think about me. I love me. I mean, and we all should walk around like that.
Absolutely.
So, that's first and foremost, confidence. And then I go, okay, I look at a woman and I break her up. Okay, does she break this up? Does she give me the visual that I need? Does she put a belt on that box? That's my favorite line, put a belt on that box. It is what it is. I mean, break it up, give me levels of, so that I can say, like, I see formation, I see something that's attractive to me. I get foundations can be, you know, stressful or whatever, but I like to see stuff put together. I don't like to see everything all over the place. I like to see it.
Foundations are not stressful.
Well, I mean, like a lot of women don't. I see a lot of women who don't like to wear foundations.
It ain't because they stressed.
But I'm thinking, I'm saying, is the foundation, you don't, whatever the case is, if you're a certain size, I think that you need to have, and it's not a girdle, you need to have just some sort of shape to smooth you out.
Absolutely.
Especially because I like to do fitted dresses.
Right.
So I need it to be smooth. Now, I don't mind a bump, but a natural bump is fine. But I need it to be smooth. I don't need it to be all over the place.
You don't want it to be sloppy.
That's the case. That's the word. I do not like the look of sloppy. I don't like the look of sloppy.
And that seems to be the norm now.
Right.
Everybody wants to let it all. This is me.
Right.
No,
I get it. It doesn't matter.
Your job is to sell my
How about that?
clothes.
How about
I
that?
need you to put the foundation on the building,
Please.
so we can go ahead and sell this
Thank
stuff.
you.
Okay.
Right. Thank you. So we don't implode from inside out. Thank you.
No more Robert.
Please.
All right. So, when you tell me, now I remember your collection the first year you did Full Figure Fashion Week,
yes.
and it was all colors and
Yes.
wrap dresses, and I
Yes.
was blown away by that.
Yes.
What you did
Yes.
this year
Yes.
at Full Figure Fashion Week, that was that collection to
Right.
the 10th power.
Yes. Now,
No, go ahead.
I like to look back at old tapes or old shows, and looking back at that first show, if I'm not mistaken, 2009. I think it's 2009, just to see the pictures and everything, and I think I saw a couple of the reviews. For me, I see my growth from there to now. Oh, definitely. for me, that collection was kind of scattered. One, because I didn't know, for me.
You thought it was scattered?
Yeah. It wasn't cohesive for me.
Okay.
That now because I always knew what, how to do cohesive, but that collection, when I look back, it wasn't cohesive. It was like stuff here. Then I knew full-figured fashion week, but I didn't know what it was. It was just, these are my people, these are my friends, we having a show, this is what we do. So then the next one I did, when I had the floral pants on, I came out and looking like the background of like I fit the
That's
stage.
all right.
Right, but I felt happy.
Yes, you did.
That one was more cohesive, of course, than the prior one. And I felt like I put more into it. Of course, I saw the growth. But this last one, oh my goodness, to the point where I'm backstage just chilling.
Yes, you were.
I've never been backstage at a fashion show just chilling, to the point, I mean, emotions was all over the place. When they started the music, because I was afraid the music wasn't going to play right. Everything was going through your head, as fashion shows do. But what I did was that I remember doing differently. I prayed and I said, yo, Bob, it's going to be what it's going to be. You know how things are, things happen, allow the space, let it be. But I like what it is. And just for the fact of, I like the fact of, I could have a down day, but I'll pull out clothes and do a mock collection, like pulling stuff I love that. And sometimes I may dress my mannequins and just to see it, to have my own personal fashion show. Because it's deeper to me than for you. This is like my crack. This is my drug. This is why me sewing and designing came from being ridiculed as a child, being about my sexuality, about my slimness, just about me, about being different. And hence how I started sewing. Because I couldn't play the sport. So now, all the insecurities and everything I would take out on the sewing machine. I mean, that would be my paint. So I say my mannequin is my what do you call it? My picture frame. And then my fabric is my paintbrush. It's my paint. And my hand is my paintbrush. And I want to go like this and throw the fabric on there and let it do what it do. But that's my crack. Like I can go in my space, close the door. You don't have to see me for a couple of days. And just sew and just create. Just create. I'm not a sketcher, but I can do a little something. I see fabric, it inspires me. I want to throw this together. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But that's me like, okay.
What kind of fabric inspires you? Because I know what inspires me. You know, the brighter and louder it is, the more likely I am to wear it.
I live for a print. A print, first and foremost. Black and white would never go wrong, black and white print. And for a fuller woman, a print camouflages a lot. So you don't have to worry about a foundation if you don't need it. So you don't have to, there's things that you don't have to deal with. So I like a print, and then I like color. I love color.
Yes, I know.
I love color.
This is why I love you.
Yes, you think, I go from black and white to color. One of the things now, the collection that I have now is really all black. It was something else that just happened, and I know why it happened. The energy that I was in with my mom passing and just feeling low, and that's just the space that I was in, how it came low. The full figure collection was part of that as well. But I knew that what it was, I had to make it more than, I couldn't be down. It was, if you look at the collection, it was really dark.
Yes.
So it was, I mean, look at the colors, it was dark, but it was,
Yeah, it was.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
And I mean,
whoa.
right. Yes.
That dress, the sparkly one?
Wait, which one?
You had a sequin dress.
Yes.
I think it had the gold up
Oh,
here.
wait. Was it with the chain? Oh, yeah. That was like, yeah. When I finished that one, yeah. That one was like I kept going like this, looking on the mannequin.
Yeah,
right.
that was
right.
That
now,
was it.
And then I think the young lady, it was Ashley who
Don't ask
wore
me
it.
their name.
Right, I think it was Ashley who wore it.
I love y'all. I don't remember none of y'all names. I'm
I think it was
sorry.
Ashley, beautiful girl. But what happened was, in the fitting, it fit her perfect. It was zipped up everything in the back. But realizing she was in another collection before, sweaty. So the dress is not long because I wanted to fit to a T. And it fit. Meaning that when we got to dress her, putting it on, couldn't get it on.
Oh, because she was wet.
Yes. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how we gonna do it? Like, oh, we gonna work it out. So we got it up. Hence why if you notice in the video, like one of the chains is off. It was like, let it ride. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. We got halfway. It was about her, needs her to go on stage. We couldn't zip it up. Actually, the zipper broke. And my assistant was like, Robert, we just have to sew. And another young lady, I don't know who her name is, she came from nowhere with a needle and thread. Hence why I said, I knew God had me.
Yeah.
It was taking, so why get upset? And she was just a sewing. So we said, okay, leave a keyhole. Fashion, that's what you do. Left the keyhole, my girl walked out, everything.
I did
And
not
no one
know
would ever know. Yeah.
any of that, and I was backstage.
Yeah. And for a hot second, I almost lost, and I thought, wait, no, we got this. And everybody that came to and made it work. Hence why I was like, I'm good. Yeah, but that dress was everything. Everything. And actually, I should have let her close, but I wanted, you like, I'm old school. I like drama. If I don't do a wedding dress, I need something dramatic. So the last piece, the sequence jumpsuit with the one shoulder number, yeah. I'm telling you,
I like that whole collection. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So of course I made the jewelry, put the jewelry together. I was so proud of myself. Oh my goodness.
And you should have been.
I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself.
You really deserved that award.
You. I was so right.
You did. I was like, okay.
I felt like I was
and
like,
you brought it.
Yes. They said they was giving me an award. So that means I gotta do a collection. Oh, no problem. Thank you. I had an excuse to do a collection.
I know that's right.
I had an excuse.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Because I remember when I first met you. What is nightwear? Is that the menswear? Why are you laughing?
No. You took me back. Wait a minute. No, nightwear was always Robert E. Knight for nightwear.
Right.
So nightwear was just my label name.
Okay.
Nightwear and KW. At a point, I was going to do Robert E. Knight as collection and then nightwear as like the lower line or lower end line, whatever. But somehow, some way, Robert E. Knight just took over. And REK just became what it was. And so I kind of like left the nightwear there and said that was my past. So anyone who says nightwear to me is like, oh, you've known me. You've known me for some years. So I'll do the KW. And then for me as I got older, the Robert E. Knight just seemed so interesting. It seemed a little bit like regal to me. Another thing that people may not know, if you look at my logo, if you see my name, whenever I do anything, I do it in lower caps. For me, that's my humbling.
Is that?
But if you
this
see,
is slick right here.
Oh, thank you.
I like this a lot.
Thank you. But everything is always lowercase, and that's my personal thing of saying I just humble Robert E. Knight. Let's bring this low. People will see you. You don't have to be all like this. They will see you. So just be still. As my mother used to always say, just be still. God got you. He done took care of it for you already. Just be still. Just be still. Every time she would say that to me, I'm like, Mommy, Bob. She called me Bob. Bob, it's okay. Be still. Be still. Like go sew a dress or something. Be still. You'll be okay.
Go sew a dress.
Go sew a dress or something.
So what you got coming up now?
I'm doing a couple of mini collections that I probably want to put together for one. It's just stuff in my head because I have so many looks at home, so many pieces at home that I have yet to show that I thought were like not worthy. I don't know why I thought they were not worthy, but this is what artists do. We're crazy like that.
And you're sensitive about your
I'm sensitive about my So for right now that I'm putting collections together, many collections together. Like I would do the Full Figure Fashion Week collection and put it together with two other collections to make one full collection. That's the theory. And also next year I'll be turning 50. Yeah, get into it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You know that good
50,
black don't crack. Yes.
Look, so I want. so what I want to. I want to do a 50th birthday like fashion show collection, something for me, because I love the fashion element of it. And that was the other thing as well. We were talking about like why, in a sense, why I do what I do. The fashion element for me is what I live for. I love to see the girls when they walk in, like I'm old school, straight old school. I love to see a young lady walking. I love the battle. I love just the element of like, I'm coming for you. I love that energy. It's about the girl, it's about the garment, because that to me is selling the garment.
Yeah.
Like the girls walking around now all like stoic and does nothing for me. And walking and, does nothing for me. I'm old school, straight up.
You want them to carry?
Yes, at a friend, suave.
Yes!
What? Give me my neck service, what I need. Legendary. Yes. So that's what I want to do for next year. Yeah, I got a couple of. I've been invited to do a couple of fashion shows here and there,
So
which I like, which I don't mind. That's cute. Keep me on my
we
toes.
have fun with that.
Yes,
though.
yes.
So you don't I sense that you're gonna go back to doing some menswear.
Of course.
Because the
I
times
can't-
call for it
I
right
can't
now.
stop doing menswear. I need to do it, but I want to do it when I feel the time is right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though the time is calling for it, it may not be right for me. I have to feel it. What I do know is, and I have to get out of my mind that the menswear is a lot, because that's what it's always been that way for me. Even when I was going to school, it was like, when I did my collection for, because we had to do a collection when we graduated from FIT.
Yeah.
I remember my chairman would say, like, if it looked like your grandmother made it, it ain't walking, and I would never forget that. So I was always trying to make sure that everything was correct. But I remember the collection was menswear, and it was like, I kept going back to the fabrics because I need another piece. It's like, it was just so much. It turned out nice. It was red, yellow, green, and blue, total look hat, jacket.
You make hats?
Yeah. I didn't make this one, but yeah. I mean, back in the day, they had the hats that you tied, like the sack hat that you tied up, whatever. So I made that to match it. And every look was different, but the lining is what brought it together. The linings were striped. So I took satin and I striped, cut them up, and then put them back together. So he was looking, he was like, I know you're gonna do something fabulous, but I wanna make sure. And so during rehearsal, we had a walkthrough, and I had the models do dress rehearsal, and one of the models, they decided to exchange coats with another model to make it funky. And actually, it was you remember Drew Felton?
Yes.
It was Drew Felton. And so, but he would always give this flair. So he took the coat and he flung it and swung it, and when it hit the lights, like, oh, and everybody like started clapping. And that's when I knew I had something, as in, okay, keep the stripe thing going. So if you notice with my dresses, I like to, I call it maybe broken ice, to put take the fabric apart and put it back together, or you'll see crazy lines. You won't see the regular lines. I've always liked that, putting it back together, give you that element of surprise for the fit of it all. So it's not a regular fit.
Okay.
Hope I didn't answer your question.
I forgot what question I asked, but it's okay. It's okay.
I'll go like this.
So, what was I getting ready to ask?
Uh-oh, you have another senior moment?
I have them a lot. So, Rob, tell me, give me your thoughts on, I'm about to hit you.
Uh-oh, don't hit me too hard.
Where we are currently in fashion.
Industry or period?
Industry.
To me, the industry fashion is horrible. To me, I don't see, okay, did I just come out and say that? Like
Yes, you did.
Okay, it's horrible. Especially New York fashion, anything. I don't really see it. I'm not inspired by it. I'm not inspired by some of the models. I'm not inspired by the designers' pieces. I'm not inspired by makeup. I'm not inspired by anything. I like Paris. I like the couture shows. I like not New York stuff.
Why not Project Runway?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so, woo.
Because that seems like a likely progression.
Okay, so the story behind Project Runway. So if this is season 16, I've auditioned 15 times, maybe 14 times. I think because one year, yeah. One year I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna mess with these people. That was that 1 year, but yeah. If it's 15 seasons, if it's 16 seasons, let's just say I auditioned 14 times.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Well, the first time I auditioned, I met Tim Gunn. It was at Parsons, audition was at Parsons, and I met Tim Gunn, and he said to me, I love your energy, but the piece that you presented to me is not up to standards, and I still have the piece today, which looking back, it wasn't. It was a leather top with some fabric that, yeah, but he liked me, and I moved on to the next round, but before they opened the door, they said next, so that was a wrap, right?
Oh, wow.
The process is a severe process. Like, it's more than what you make, it's about you, but you never know what they want.
Right, and you have to be good TV. I know that just from working behind the scenes.
But, I mean, it's reality TV.
Yeah.
So that, across the board, you could be as dead as a doornail or loud as a cloud. If they like it, they like it. It's something about you. But that time, I remember I left there because I didn't get picked, and I cried, I left there and walked around, I cried, just felt so defeated. And I remember one of my niece Danielle said, Uncle Bobby, she was young, Uncle Bobby, don't worry, you'll get it. And I felt better, but I realized why I was crying. I was crying because I wasn't selected, but I was also crying because it was over, because it was such a buildup. And then for someone to go through your stuff and like, I don't like this, I never liked that. Like, you're not gonna judge my stuff. But then I was like, oh, but I did it. And I was like, I'm never gonna do this again, And it rolled around, I did it again. And I didn't cry, but I still felt defeated. But as time went on, I just auditioned to the point where I'm auditioning now. It's like an interview. I know what to expect. I know. Only thing I can do is be me. But this time, I went, and real quick, a little story. We were online outside waiting to go upstairs. The guy was giving out the numbers. Got up to me, and I remember there's a guy standing behind me. He had a brown box, and he had like some gray goods in it. It was like just T-shirts and stuff to be online to show our collection. And the guy that was handing out the numbers, the girl in front of me was, let's say 75, right? Mm-hmm. He was supposed to hand me 76. Apparently, the guy that was behind me caught his attention, the girl that he was with, so he started talking to them. He handed her number 76, handed him 76, still talking, and then turned around and handed me 77. No problem, because we all going to the same place, get online, whatever. The process is you get upstairs, it's like, come on, 10 people, they line you up, put your stuff on the rack, get upstairs, you put your stuff on the rack, and he's 76, whatever, and I'm 77, right? So he's standing 76, whatever, and you have the judges come out to see your stuff. Okay, so in the process, it was Armando and there's another young man who won Project Runway, really nice guys. So I've seen them, they've been judges like to come out to see you, to pick you to go to the next round on numerous occasions. But this time, they remembered me. So they walk out and they go, wait a minute, you look familiar. You've auditioned before. That's all I needed. So he left, and the lady said, everyone stays except number 76. Everyone stays except number 77. And it happened so fast. And I was like, it all backflashed to outside with a difference of the thing. So I'm thinking like, at 1 minute, I was upset because I was like, that's supposed to be my number. Then I thought about it. I was like, The Spirit just told you that your time is coming. It's right there. Meaning don't give up.
You know your turn is coming.
Yes.
All of that stuff was preparation to bring you to this moment.
Yes.
But we are out of time. I'd like to thank my guest, Robert E. Knight, for sharing his industry knowledge with us. Now, before I go, I want to leave you with a few thoughts. I want you to, one, remember that you can't change the game until you first learn the game. Always surround yourself with positive people and positive things. Do what you love and love what you do. And lastly, be who you are, but be who you are tastefully. Always have some class about yourself. Yeah. Thanks for watching Model Behavior, and I'll see you guys next week. Class is officially dismissed.
Yes.
Bye, y'all.